So, JJ, how much should we be taking Pete Alonso's first 2 months as a start, really, of an MVP resume?
Very, very seriously, Chris Williamson. You know I'm all about that action when it comes to Pete Alonso. The guy's been a beast since he's put on a Met uniform, and now he's playing on a first-place team on a night where the San Francisco Giants had an early lead. The Mets take advantage of some good fortune. I don't know what happened in left field, but then Alonso comes up to the plate and basically sets the tone for the game. That ball still hasn't landed. He hit the walk-off last week against the St. Louis Cardinals, and it's early. So there is a long way to go, and narratives are going to shift as this season moves along. But, Anthony, right about now, I'm A-OK mentioning Pete Alonso in that MVP conversation.
Yeah, I am too, JJ, especially because he has become not just slug, right? Because he's really worked on hitting the ball the other way, and his batting average is as high as it's ever been. And I think that allows him to get a few more things done offensively that really polishes up the resume. That's going to be, flush with a lot of power numbers, too. So he's got that going for him. The one drawback to Pete's case is his defense, because defense has become a more important factor for voters over the last few years. And, I mean, when you put him up against a guy like Manny Machado, who's one of the premier third basemen in baseball and is having an unbelievable year for the Padres, well, I mean, that, Pete doesn't really measure up in that regard unless his play at first base really starts to shine and he gets up to the 50 home run area. Then we're talking about a real candidate.
Absolutely. And now we're a turn through the pitching rotation since the Max Scherzer injury. Was Chris Bassett right, Anthony, when he said they have the depth to keep winning games despite all the injuries that are piling up?
Chris, I'll give Chris Bassett a yes, you're right so far, because it has been impressive in the 5 games. They've got a 3.45 ERA over that span, and that would put them, if that were the season ERA, that would put them 13th in the majors right now, which is pretty good for a rotation that's filled with some stopgaps. And look, this is what good teams do. This is what teams, front offices prepare for in the offseason by acquiring depth that they can deploy when injuries happen. And, for the Mets to have success this year, they're going to have the David Petersons of the world and Trevor Williams come up and make contributions and be in the rotation for a while. I mean, David Peterson is a beautiful depth piece to have because, this time last year we were thinking of him as, a future rotation stalwart, and here he is, a depth guy, and you saw what he did for them on Monday night in that terrific performance coming back to the big leagues.
Fellas, so far so good. In the absence of Max Scherzer, guys have stepped up. I thought Taijuan Walker on Sunday was fabulous against the Colorado Rockies, and I was super impressed by what I saw out of David Peterson. And you hit on it, Anthony. There is now an opportunity for David Peterson, who pitched really well for this team in 2020. He had a nightmarish 2021. He was the odd man out. He was not a part of this rotation. Well, now it's his chance to go and run with it, right? He's going to be getting starts every 5th day. The Mets have plenty of injuries that are going on right about now. So, David Peterson, you keep pitching the way you did against the San Francisco Giants, there will be more opportunities. Yes, the Mets are going to miss Max Scherzer. I don't know if Chris Bassett's going to be right, but in the short term, he's looking like a genius.